All right, Democrats are crunching the numbers after disappointing results from election night. So let's take a look at this. A CBS News exit poll reveals how much support Harris lost among some core Democratic groups. So that includes Latino voters, young voters, and women. The numbers dropping from 2020. Our Kara St. Cyr talked with two Democratic leaders who say their party is in need of a rebrand.
The Democratic Party is reeling in the wake of the presidential election after Donald Trump scored big. Republicans won control of the Senate and could also keep control of the House. Former San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown says the future of the Democratic Party may seem bleak, but there is a strategy to move forward.
For the 120 days or so that the campaign actually existed, it was a good campaign.
Mayor Brown says Kamala Harris's campaign fell short in two places: rushed campaigning and an inability to relate to everyday voters.
She was the victim of trying to run a national campaign for president within the limited time period that you ordinarily run a campaign to get the nomination. Therefore, it was not successful.
Brown says Harris's campaign didn't have enough time to really gauge the pulse of the public issues or introduce Harris as a viable candidate. He says the Democrats should have hammered in on issues like gas prices and inflation, which Trump stressed continually throughout the campaign.
At no point in this campaign do I think the Democratic Party had listened to the complaints, because those would have been the first complaints, not the ones that they relied upon.
But Brown still thinks there's an avenue for the party to revive its reputation, and that starts with a rebranding of what he calls its elitist image.
I think that the Democratic Party did not understand that they can no longer think of themselves as being helping people. They really should have been party with people. Make sure you partner with people. Make sure you do what people want you to do, not what you think they should do.
Former White House Chief of Staff Leon Panetta agreed that an image rebrand is needed, but also says the path to victory is really about playing defense in the House and Senate.
Kind of be there and watch the Republicans overplay their hand, which I think they're going to do. I think they're going to overplay their hand. I think they're going to lean towards extremist legislation and pass it. And when they do, there's going to be a backlash. And the Democrats have to be ready for when that backlash happens.
While both politicians agree that the party has shortcomings, both also emphasize that if the necessary work is done, the Democrats can completely overhaul the reputation by the midterm mark.
Somehow, Democrats assume that because everything seemed to be doing well, they didn't have to speak to the problems of people. That's a mistake.
So control of the U.S. House could come down to a handful of congressional districts in Southern California.